And welcome back to another Honor Respect and to another edition of Raw out of 10. And yeah, big show today. We're only got one more episode of Raw after this. Before we reach Survivor Series, we've already got the men's War Game match set up. And yeah, we got lots of matches on this show. We got the tag team titles on the line in the main event. And yeah, several other matches, including Ivar versus The Miz. So let's get straight into things, and we started things off with a video that recapped some of the recent events around the world title. Cody made his way to the ring. He said he and Jay were going to regain the tag title and started talking about War Games, introducing his team. Rhodes and Rollins had a little confrontation before the Judgment Day interrupted. They traded usual insults, and while the group implied that Cody and his team would never be able to get along, Rollins yelled at everyone for taking too long and challenged JD and Dominic to a match with himself and Sami Zayn after the break. This was made official. It was a pretty standard tag match for the story being told. Neither of these duos work as a tag team regularly, but both pairs showed some decent chemistry. Zayn and Rollins did a good job of giving the crowd moments to cheer, and Madonna and Mysterio stole all of their offense. The match won't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it gave the fans a chance to see a couple of WWE top names do what they do best. The opening segment and match took up a combined 35 minutes at the top of the show. When it looks like Rollins is about to win, Rhea Cole came to the ring with Balor and Priest to cause a DQ. Jey Uso and Rhodes showed up to brawl. Adam Pearce flipped out and said everyone who wasn't in the tag title bout later in the War Games match should be banned from the arena. So yeah, it gets 7 out of 10 from me. I don't know, kind of a predictable ending. I thought maybe both Fists getting might in the win, but no, turned out not to be. But yeah, I thought the promo and all of that before that was decent. Set up into a match which was going on quite nicely. So yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10, just about. It was then time for Otis versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and we returned from a break to see Ripley still yelling at Pearce. She ended up having a brief moment with Zoe Stark that turned into a fight, but ended with Mummy retreating. But anyway, last week Nakamura picked up a win over Tozawa, so this time he moved on to Otis. The Powerhouse took control early on and dished out a lot of punishment. He did one of Nakamura's own moves, but she stomped him in the corner repeatedly. It took some quite time for the artist to get the upper hand, but Otis was in control for the majority of this bout and even countered the Kinshasa once. It only took 3 Kinshasas to finally put him down for the 3 count. The match was mostly one-sided, but it made Otis look like a beast. Judging by how it looked like Gable would likely have to win the contest with Otis soon, even though it wasn't the most exciting performance, it did do a good job of making both men look relatively strong. So yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. We then got Piper Niven taking on Tegan Nox, and WWE had a special video package for Nox before the match, and that was great. But Natalya was at ringside with Nox, which means they will likely be next in challenge for the women's tag belts. This was a stand-up powerhouse v underdog type of contest. Niven did a good job dominating, while Nox and Chelsea Green yelled encouragement and instructions from ringside. Natalya and Green ended up fighting a fight at ringside that cost Niven the match. She managed to get her foot on the bottom rope to prevent a pin, but Nox pinned her with a crucifix a moment later anyway. The bout was uneventful, and the crowd being so quiet certainly didn't help, and yeah, kind of just leaves the apathy with the women's tag titles. But you know, a big win for Nox kind of sets up that program, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Before it's time for Ciampa versus Kaiser, Gargano accompanied his partner to the ring, and of course Kaiser was with Vinci. Vinci tried and failed to bait Ciampa into following him into a sneak attack to start the bout. Ciampa easily took control and slammed Kaiser's head to the announce table. Once Kaiser took control, he showed the pace down, and so he could dish out precise offense. Vinci was rejected from ringside after the ref caught him cheating during the commercial break. These two men have had many matches over the years. They know each other well. They use their chemistry to deliver a solid performance, highlighting their strength. Even though Vinci was ejected, he showed back up to hit Gargano with a running kick. The distraction allowed Kaiser to roll Ciampa up for the pin. The ending was a bit contrived, but the match as a whole was decent enough. And yeah, kind of plays into the story. And Gunther being pleased with Vinci, not Kaiser. Yeah, adding on to that as well. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Jaya Lee then took on Indy Hartwell, and this match came out after Lee defeated LeRae 2 weeks ago. She also took out Lynch before last week's Battle Royal and was not allowed to compete as a result. Indy Hartwell took control early, but as soon as they rolled out of the ring, Lee shoved her into the ring set to take over. LeRae did her best to hype up the fans at ringside, but it seemed like most of the people in the arena didn't care about the match, and this had a big impact on the overall presentation. A quiet crowd can destroy the momentum of the bout, and the way it ended seemed to help. The ref called it to an end and declared Hartwell could no longer compete after a kick to the head. The contest was short and did little to make either woman look good. Becky Lynch showed up at the end for revenge, but the segment, I have to say, kind of fell flat, and yeah, it kind of feels like we got a bit tired of the whole same thing again. So yeah, unfortunately I'm going to give it a 5. We then got the number 1 contender for the IC title with The Miz facing Ivar, even though Ivar was supposed to get the pin at the same time, but whatever. Ivar attacked The Miz, and after it was all set up for this bout, which would likely have been the best for the title shot had last week's bout ended as intended. The Miz did a good job playing the underdog against his larger opponent. Whenever he works as a face, he incorporates moves that doesn't usually get little pops from the crowd. Bronson Reed came out to have a closer look after he got into an argument with Ivar at the end of the show. This was another match that made sense from a storyline perspective, but did little to excite fans at first. The Miz working as a face is going to take some time to get used to, but you know, to be fair, he's been getting decent receptions. The action between the ropes and Solid, the crowd was getting more into the match as it progressed. The Miz ended up getting the win by using the ropes for leverage. Reed attacked over, and it was over and hit the Stone Army. And yeah, I don't know, makes sense. Establishes Miz as the number one contender. I thought maybe Ivar might get the win to make it that triple threat, but no, clearly not. But Miz getting the win does make sense and sets up an interesting feud for Ivar as well with Reed, which I think could be decent. So I'm not complaining on how 6 out of 10. It was then main event time, the Judgment Day taking on Cody and Jay for the tag titles, and yeah, the company gave the final 35 minutes of the show to this bout, with the entrance including, so they had plenty of time to ensure it was a highlight. Uso and Balor started for their team and had a furious lockout. The Irishman scored the first takedown, but Jay was right back to his feet. They quickly developed into a brawl involving all 4 competitors. While this quartet is almost a foregone conclusion, the match should be very good. They're all veterans who have dozens of titles across multiple promotions. So yeah, the main event was in safe hands. The only downside was predictable, but we got some surprising stuff to come. Drew McIntyre showed up and hit Uso with a Claymore kick while the ref was distracted to give the Judgment Day an easy path to victory. Drew shaking hands with Rhea. Could there have been 2 new members on the Judgment Day last week? It certainly looks like it. But yeah, a long-awaited heel turner, brilliant match, and yeah, it just makes so much sense. I'm definitely in favour. 8 out of 10, and overall Raw this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I don't know. I thought, yeah, maybe except for the main event, it just kind of felt like a bit of a low-key Raw. There wasn't like massive, important, crucial stuff happening. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, but I did really enjoy the ending, like I say. Drew going heel, I think, yeah, that was such a good move, and looking forward to seeing what he can do potentially as part of the Judgment Day. But anyway, guys, that's it really. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Next time, daily wrestling news. Subscribe to the channel is going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.